Hey everyone. So I'm going to show you how to do a super easy multi-list lead generation ad using the chatbot on Facebook. So you don't need any IDX feed or pay anything extra. All you have to have is your multi-list access. And first you would go into your multi-list. We use Bright. Just switched to that recently. Don't ask me about that. It's great, I think. Anyhow. You should know how to do auto emails for your clients. So you can either create an auto email for yourself or for some fake person. For purposes here, I made a person called J Downsizer, and then I have some downsizing searches: first floor master homes, townhouses, and single family homes. So we're going to run a downsizing ad for this one. This one works great. I love it. They click a lot. They take a long time to buy, but they have money. Houses are usually paid off. There are a lot of people downsizing right now, especially in Pennsylvania where I live. So this ad does really well. So first of all, obviously you go in there, you run a search, you set up an auto email. So now you go to that auto email, which will have a link. So I do for townhomes and I do for single family homes. Then the first thing you're going to do is you're going to copy that link portal address. And this link portal is always updating. It's live. It's an auto email that's updating as new homes come on and things go for sale or go sold and everything. So it's always updating, always going to be up to date. So copy that. Then I'm going to go into my chat fuel, my chatbot, and I've got a sequence set up for first floor master suites. And it starts with a little picture there. I'll show you the sequence later, but then I'm going to paste those links in here, one for townhomes, one for single family homes. And then once I've created that, I'm going to go up here. I'm going to take my link, which will land people on this downsizing landing ad. And I'm going to take that and I'm going to put it in my bit.ly, and I'm going to create a bit.ly link from it. So that I can track clicks to this, how many, yada, yada, yada. You don't have to do that, but I like to use bit.ly links and track things. So then once I have my bit.ly link, now I'm going to go create my ad in Facebook. So if you're on your Facebook page, I usually go click create ads, blah, 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 which takes you here. So for these ads, for chatbot ads, I don't do traffic because they're going to be clicking on something, but the way the ads are set up, if you put a chatbot link in there, it doesn't work right. I can't really explain. You could do it and see what happens, but it doesn't populate the little box that they're supposed to click on with the picture and the text and everything. So, and I find anyway with these chatbot links, the ads that I've tested run better when I just do engagement with a link right up in the text there, and then some kind of catchy picture or video. So we're going to do engagement in this case. And I'm just going to call it first floor master homes. You could call it whatever you want, downsizing, whatever. Again, leave it on post engagement. I'm not going to do any of this. You should be A/B testing and testing lots of different pictures and lots of different copy and everything. But for purposes of this, we're just going to do it real quick. So I can show you what to do. So it's going to take you here. You can have different ad sets and all that stuff. But to keep it simple, you could just call it again, first floor master. Just call it the same thing the whole way through, unless you want to create different ad sets and everything. So if you have any audiences, you could use save audiences here for keeping it simple. Again, we're just going to go, and these are downsizers. So we want everybody, let's say, we're going to do 50 to 65 plus, men and women, whatever language. If you wanted to get into location, obviously we're realtors, so I'm going to do Mechanicsburg, PA, and within 25 miles, sure. I'm actually more specific than that when I do my targeting, but we'll leave it at that. And you can be super specific. You could do just that current city, which is actually what I do. I name a bunch of the cities that I want to be. I don't do a radius. But you can do it however you want. You definitely want to have a location, though, in there if you're a realtor, because obviously you're not serving the country. So put a location, put the age, And then interests and detailed targeting, you can look into things to add there. Maybe their interests are AARP or investing or Zillow. I would definitely use Zillow and Realtor.com and people that have been looking at those kind of things. Houses for sale. I'm not going to go into that because it'll take a little time to add interests, but I would do that. So if you want to keep it really, really simple, I mean, you could just throw in your location and do 50 plus and leave it at that. Add connection type. I'm not going to do any of that. You could do that, but I wouldn't do any of that. You could save the audience then if you want to save the audience to use later again in other downsizing ads. I would recommend that. For placements, just do automatic. We're keeping it simple this time. If you wanted to edit placements, you could decide where you wanted to show. For downsizers, the desktop is probably going to be the main place where they see it, although mobile is still number one, even with downsizers. So for purposes of this, I'll just leave it everywhere. And Facebook will figure out where people are seeing it anyway. Unless you really know what you're doing and you really know where you want to put it, just leave it at automatic placements, and Facebook will figure it out pretty well for you. Then you're going to come down here, set your bid, how much you want to spend. You can do whatever. I'm telling you, you can do a couple bucks a day on a downsizing ad in my market, and I can get a couple opt-ins, at least a couple opt-ins for cheap. And just one agent, if you're not feeding a team, which I kind of am, but they all have their own bots and their own lead gen. So if you're feeding a team or something, maybe you want to get more opt-ins than that, but I can't follow up with that many people. And for me, it's a follow up in person and jump in on the bot as it's going through and make a connection, not really throw their email or them into some sequence that bugs them for 50 days. I find people do not like that. So I'm all about getting people in there, getting them opted in, and starting a conversation with them, hopefully pretty quickly. Yeah, I don't want them sitting in there getting a bunch of sequences because it just doesn't work in my opinion. Unless it's something really engaging. So anyway, that's my little spiel on that. So a couple bucks, or if you want to go crazy, go ahead. I just run it continuously, and then you can turn it on and off as you want, change your budget as you want. We're going to leave it as post engagement. You could try these things, but we're going to leave it. We just want post engagement on this again. We're going to leave all this the same, and then we're going to continue. Again, I'm just going to call this first floor master or whatever I called it before. I forget. And again, if this was a completely different ad, if you had a bunch of different ads and ad sets in here, you would probably name this a little bit something different than the other ad you were creating. But we're just doing one ad to keep it simple in here. So pick the page you want to do the ad with. Obviously, I'm doing it with that page. Select a post or create a new post. So I'm going to create a new post. You could, if you already had a downsizing post, a good one in your feed that did well or you think would do well and people would click on it, you could use it, but it would already have to have that chatbot link in it to be able to use it. So I'm going to create a new post. I'm going to do it real quick here. I'm going to upload a file. I know that I already have, whoops. Here we go. Sorry. A bunch of downsizing pictures. How about, I like this one. So we use that one. And you can get pictures from multiple places if you don't. I would recommend not just downloading from Google and using those because they're usually copyrighted, as some of these are. But I try to only use ones I have permission to. A lot of those ones in there I actually haven't used. But anyway, and I'm not actually running this ad. And I don't know if this one is protected or not. So I'm not going to run this ad without knowing that. So anyway, I'm going to pick an image. Then we're going to put some copy in there. Usually with downsizers, you can be pretty simple. Downsizing wants first floor living. Check out these single floor homes in Cumberland County, which is Cumberland County is usually where I target. Blah, blah, blah. Throw the link on there, which I got from my Bitly. There's the link. If I was taking my time, I would put a bunch of emojis in here, some finger button clicking things and stuff. Emojis these days, I think, grab a lot of attention and they work. So I would add some emojis and make this copy a lot better, but I'm just doing this really quick on the fly. But funny thing is, I would probably get some clicks on this anyway, just because it works that well. So you do some copy, you pick your picture like you would with any other post. Blah blah blah. I'm not going to do any of that stuff. And then I'm going to shrink my screen, hide this. And then it's going to take me here. And you're going to see your ad right here in Facebook. Now it says send message. I do not want that there, because if they click that button, it's going to take them to my general landing spot on my bot, not the downsizing ad. So I don't want that there. Hopefully that leaves. That should leave once I finish the ad. Facebook Pixel, they will not be going to my website that's pixeled, so I don't need to turn that on. They're going to be going to the multi-list feed. If you had an IDX feed and you were sending them to your website where you do have a pixel, I would turn on the pixel, obviously, so you can track that and target them later. So that's pretty much it. You click confirm. And I'm going to delete this as soon as this confirms, because this ad isn't well thought out. But it gives you some idea of how to do it. Or maybe I'll let it run for the day and check back in with you guys and see how many clicks it got. Although I don't think it will get many, because I didn't think out too well. And that picture, actually, I don't want to leave out there that I don't think is paid for. So, and then you're going to see it in review. And then after a while, you'll get a notice that says your ad is approved. And then you can come back in here and check all this stuff in here. And that's it. So downsizing ad, real quick. Downsizing will work well. You could also do, homes under 100,000, homes under 300,000, homes, luxury homes, 500 to a million. 500 to a million is luxury in my area. If you're out west or in New York or something, maybe it's not. So that's super easy. Multi-list ads, you don't have to have an IDX feed. You don't have to pay for all that stuff. You can just use your auto email from your multi-list. You can the bot can be free if you're not paying Chat Fuel to look at the people and all that stuff. You can even get started with the bot for free. You can still see your people that you get opted in your actual, you can see them on your Pages Manager on your phone. And you can access your Pages messages via Facebook as well. So this could all be free lead gen and very easy once you get used to doing it. So hope that helps you get some leads. Go run a downsizing ad. Peace.